Thank you for joining in for today's practice. Before we start practice today, I wanted to talk about my fantasy book. Well, it's actually sci-fi fantasy, which I've been talking about the last few days, but it's been really intense and there's been lots of conflict and turmoil in the story to the point where you're reading it and there's so much tension and you're just like, I need to keep reading this so I can figure it all out. And so that everything resolves itself and I can figure out, how the story unfolds. And so I was just up late last night reading. I was like, I have to see how this is all gonna end up. And it was quite a turbulent storyline, very tumultuous, very emotional. I was reading it, like half of my favorite characters were all slaughtered and killed. And I was like, I can't believe I'm reading this right now. Like not the best thing to read before bed. I was getting emotional, I was angry, I was upset, I was frustrated. And I just kept reading because I wanted to resolve the issue. And, yesterday I had a bit of a tough day in general just because I was stuck inside and had other things going on. And it was just a really frustrating day. It wasn't all rainbows and sunshine. And in yoga, they say that you will encounter problems. You'll encounter challenges. They're called the antariyakas. Part of this practice of yoga, of life, is that we'll encounter problems and conflict and challenging situations, whether it's in our sci-fi fantasy novel or in real life. And we have to acknowledge that it's okay to be upset and it's okay to feel sometimes heavy emotions and not to force ourselves to always be positive. Problems have inherent value. If you've ever been in a situation of conflict or challenge or a problem, and then you come out the other end where you've solved it, you're like, oh my gosh, I solved that problem, I solved that conflict. And you grow as a person, and problems have value, and they give us a sense of meaning and purpose in our life. If there were no problems in our life, I doubt we would experience a sense of meaningfulness or purposefulness, and we wouldn't learn as much about ourselves or about other people. So I think it's really important for us to remind ourselves, if we're encountering a problem, to view it as an opportunity to experience a sense of meaning and purpose in our life. And it's an opportunity for us to educate ourselves. And we don't always have to be positive about it. We don't have to force ourselves to be positive about it. We can allow ourselves to experience, the heaviness of the problem. So that's all I want to say about that. It's okay to have problems. They can give us a sense of purpose and meaning in our life, especially when we kind of resolve them, or they at least teach us more about who we are as individuals and about the world. Today, this class is called a sweet hammy flow. Sweet hammy flow. So I'm going to be giving you all slabs of ham. No, I'm not. We're going to be doing hamstring related stuff. Just to keep it really simple, there's 3 components of your hamstrings. We're going to have on the lateral side edge of your leg, so the outer edge of your leg, you have the biceps femoris. On the inner part of the leg, you have the semimembranosus. And then kind of on the top of the semimembranosus, a little bit in the middle of your leg, is the semitendinosus. So we're going to kind of play with these 3 components of your hamstrings, the inner, the middle, and the outer hamstring. And we're going to kind of work them in a way that makes them really sweet and happy. So that will involve some strengthening work, but also some releasing work. So we get the muscles strong, but we also get it used to being long as well. All right, we'll start on our mats. If you have it, you need 2 blocks and 1 strap. If you don't have a strap, go grab a belt quickly or a towel. That would be really helpful. Everyone's rushing off screen. Go, 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 go. Grab a belt, like a belt or a towel. If you have 2 blocks, great. If you don't have 2 blocks, don't worry about it. All right. Then I'll change this. All right. Once you have your props, so if you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. It's really not the end of the world. If you do have 2 blocks, put them right up at the top of your mat and put them together on their lowest height. If you don't have 2 blocks, just grab 2 sci-fi fantasy novels. No, I'm just joking. If you don't have blocks, don't worry. You can do this whole thing without the blocks. The blocks just add an extra little bit of oomph. And then you're going to need your strap or your belt or a towel of some sorts just to wrap around your foot. Okay, please lie down onto your back. Please place your hands on your belly. Take your feet wide and let your knees knock together. Close your eyes. When we force ourselves to be positive, we can deny ourselves of life's problems. And problems can have value to them. They can teach us about ourselves and the world. They can give us a sense of meaning and purpose. They can even generate happiness. If you've ever solved a problem or worked on a problem for a long time, those moments where you feel like you're understanding what's going on or beginning to resolve it can be a moment of extreme joy. So it's okay to feel heavy sometimes. And it's okay to have problems. All right. Heel toe your feet together. And then grab the strap. Place your strap off to the side. Changed my mind. Bend your knees, both feet on the ground. Both feet are on the floor like bridge. And hands are beside your hips. Press down into your feet and lift your pelvis up. And once your pelvis is lifted, can you place your hands on your frontal hip points? And try to get them even from right to left. And take a deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe your feet together. Squeeze your legs towards each other. And then come onto your right tippy toes. And right away, you might be able to feel how the back of your left leg and your left posterior, your left butt, has to work a little bit more. Okay. And then lengthen your right leg straight forward. Keep your right knee level with your left knee. Push the right heel straight forward. Keep your pelvis symmetrical from left to right. And take a deep inhale. And full exhale. And place the foot back down on the ground. Other side. Come onto your left tippy toes. Left tippy toes. Try to keep your pelvis balanced from left to right. Push down through that right foot. Try to keep the pelvis up. And just notice how the right leg has to work a little bit more. Lengthen your left leg straight forward. Your left knee is level, is right beside your right knee. Push down through the right foot. Keep both sides of the pelvis even. And then bend the knee, place the foot down on the ground. All right, now walk your feet, let's say about 1 to 2 feet more forward. And if you have blocks, your heels will now be on the tops of your blocks. If you don't have blocks, your heels will be on the ground. And just walk your feet forward enough so your knees are kind of like just a little bit bigger than a 90-degree angle. The knees are still bent, but the heels are on the blocks or on the floor now. And now push your heels down into the ground, into the blocks, and lift your pelvis up. So only the heels of your feet are on the ground. Only the heels of your feet. Can you lift the pelvis up a little bit higher? And then try to lengthen your tailbone towards the backs of your knees. So you almost take your pelvis a little bit more into a posterior tilt. Notice if your knees are splaying out to the side, can you keep your knees parallel? And then shift more weight into your left heel and just try your best. If you can't do it, if you get a cramp, then don't worry about it, but try your best. Can you hover your right heel 1 millimeter off the ground? Just 1 millimeter, try. And then the right heel comes down, and then try to hover your left heel 1 millimeter off the ground. Notice which leg's stronger. Okay, lower the left heel down. Good. Press through both heels, keep the pelvis lifted. Now lift the right heel up. Let it hover. Take your right foot a little more to the right, 5 centimeters to the right, and then put the right heel down so the foot's a little wider to the side. Push your right heel down. Lift your left heel up. Try not to let the pelvis sway. Bring your left heel 5 centimeters to the left, and then put it on the ground. So now your feet are 10 centimeters wider apart. Press the heels down, lift the pelvis up, and then this is my most favorite part. Let your knees and your toes turn in like your knock-kneed, and then let your knees and your feet turn out. So you're internally and externally rotating the legs. Let the knees and feet turn in. Let the knees and feet turn out. Your butt is off the ground. Karen, butt off the ground. Knees and feet turn in. Knees and feet turn out. One last time. Knees and feet turn in. Knees and feet turn out. Good. And then bring your knees and feet to a neutral position. Try to keep the pelvis up. Try to lengthen your tailbone forward. And then lower your bum down to the ground. Good job. Rebend your knees. Bridge pose. Press into your feet. Lift the pelvis up. So you're just in a normal bridge. Both feet on the ground. Take a deep inhale. And a full exhale. Okay, lower your butt down towards the ground. Straighten both legs forward so you can kick the blocks out of the way if they're there. Grab your strap. Wrap your strap around the ball of your right foot and lengthen your right leg up towards the sky. Just go slow. Lengthen your left leg straight forward towards the front of the room. Let your inner left thigh roll down towards the ground. And just be really gentle here. So we're going to repeat this position twice. So for the first one, I want you to be a little bit more on the gentle side of things, especially if you've woken up in the last hour or so. You know, just be a little gentle with your hamstrings. The body will go further much more quickly if the nervous system doesn't feel like it's under an insane amount of stress. And so if you go a little too fast, a little too quick with a stretch, the nervous system can be like, whoa, slow down, Karen. I don't know if you pay attention to meme culture, but usually, you know, when there's someone misbehaving or being, you know, a little egotistical or self-centered, they call her Karen. It's kind of a bit horrible, especially if your name is Karen. But anyways, take 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. 2. Keep pushing the left heel straight forward, turning the inner left thigh down. Okay, 1 last deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice job. Lift your left leg up. Place your left foot in the strap. Your right leg comes forward. Push your right heel straight forward along the ground. So your right leg is active. Roll your inner right thigh down. And very gently draw your left toes towards your face. You will go further more quickly if you can start with a bit of gentleness. Deep inhale. Steady exhale. 4. Sometimes it takes time for our body to unravel and open. Just like some problems or conflicts take a little bit of time to solve. Can you be patient? 3 more breaths. 2. Can you breathe deeply? And one last deep inhale. Full exhale. Good, well done. Right leg comes up. Release your left leg forward. Second time. So maybe on this time you see if the leg can come a little bit closer than it did the previous, and maybe it's just 1 millimeter closer. Maybe it's a bit more than that. Maybe it's less. Hold for 5. Can you breathe deeply? 4. Can you keep your eyes focused on one place? 3. Keep that left leg active. The left heel pushes forward, and try to keep a little bit of feeling of internal rotation of the left leg. So the upper inner left thigh rolls down. Okay, one last deep breath in. Good, and out. Take the strap into your right hand. Okay, listen, take the strap into your right hand. Open the right leg out and over towards the right. Okay, so Supta Padangusthasana 2B. Stretch your left arm out to the left. Can you hold for 5? Hold for 4. So as you let the right leg open to the right, look at your right foot and see if you can turn your right toes down towards the ground a little bit. So we're trying to get a little bit more into our inner hamstrings, our semi-membranosus, which kind of, helps, it feeds kind of into the adductor system as well. So as we open the leg to the side, the idea is to get a little bit more to the inner hamstring. And take one more deep inhale. Full exhale. And inhale, leg goes back up. Okay, switch, left leg up, right leg forward. And maybe notice if you can go a little bit deeper on this side. 5 breaths. And so, right now we're stretching all the hamstrings, but definitely for sure the more middle hamstring, which is semitendinosus. And a good hamstring class or workout will target all three components of the hamstrings. 2 more deep breaths. And one last deep inhale. Full exhale. Good. And then take the strap into your left hand. Take your left leg all the way out and over towards the left. Keep pushing your right heel forward. Can you turn your left toes down towards the ground a little bit? Yeah, so we're trying to get more into the semi-membranosus hamstring, the inner hamstring. Breathe, deep inhale. Steady exhale. And then bring the leg back up. Awesome. Switch legs again. Take your right leg up. This time it's different. Take the strap in your left hand. Take the strap in your left hand. Place your right thumb in your right hip crease. Push the right thigh, the hip crease forward, away from you. And then let your right foot come towards the left. Try to keep both edges of your sacrum on the ground. So the pelvis stays on the floor. It's not a big twist. Not a big twist. Your pelvis is totally on the floor. Let your right leg cross over to the left, probably only about a foot, maybe 2. So the leg's adducting across the midline. And this will get a little more into the outer line of our leg, including kind of the outer hamstrings. Can you take 3 breaths? 2. One more deep inhale. Full exhale. And release. Okay, left leg comes up. Take the strap in your right hand. And then take your left thumb into your hip crease. Push the left thigh forward. Keep pulling the left foot towards your face. Keep pushing your right heel forward. Turn your inner right thigh down. And then let the left foot go a foot or 2 over towards the right. Keep pushing the top of your left thigh bone near the hip forward. Keep rolling your inner right thigh down. And maybe reach the left arm out to the left. Breathe dynamically and fully into your ribs and chest so that it be an expansive opportunity to breathe. Three more breaths. 2. And one last deep inhale. And a full exhale. Well done. Release. Place both feet on the ground. Hands down beside your hips. Well done, everyone. Feet are parallel. I promise you we'll get moving. Feet are parallel. Heels are on the ground. Press your heels so strongly into the floor that you're able to lift your pelvis off the ground. Push your heels down into the ground so strongly you can lift your pelvis. Put a little bend in your knees. Right? So your knees are slightly bent. Push the heels down, lift the butt up. Roll your inner thighs down until your big toes touch. Your legs internally rotate a little. Keep your butt off the ground. Now externally rotate the legs and the feet. Internally rotate, big toes touch. And then externally rotate. Just one more time. Internal. So we're going through all 3 components of the hamstrings. External. And then internal. Keep the butt off. And external. Keep the knees bent. Knees bent. Turn the toes in. Turn the toes out. Oh, and then release. Tough, right? Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a big squeeze. Hamstring strength is important. Rock yourself up onto your hands and knees. Here we go. Let's get moving. Hands under your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Inhale, look forward. Tilt the sit bones up. Open your chest to the front. Exhale, push your hands and knees down. Round to your back. Gaze towards your belly button. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhaling. Inhale, neutral. Downward facing dog pose. Send your butt back and up towards the sky. Take a steady breath into your body. Wow, how good do your hamstrings feel? Mine feel like $1,000,000 right now. Like first downward dog and my hamstrings already feel that nice. It's going to be a good class. If your hamstrings don't feel amazing, then that's okay too. You know, we're all built a little differently. But the good thing is we've all already strengthened our hamstrings and given them an opportunity to open up before our downward dog, which is real nice. Push through the hands. Focus your eyes on one spot between your feet. Steady, slow breath in. Steady, slow breath out. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Let yourself fall into your breathing. Take a full inhale. Complete exhale. Come forward to plank pose. Inhale. Pause. Get your shoulders right over your wrists. Reach the center of your chest forward. Get long through the front of the body. Draw the shoulders down the back. Pelvis level with your shoulders. Pull the lower ribs in. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, come all the way down to your belly. Reach both hands back. Forehead on the ground. Turn your inner thighs up towards the sky. Plug the tailbone back, pubic bone down into the ground. And then try to lead from the inner thighs, lift your legs up off the ground. Lift your chest up a little bit higher. Good, reach the arms straight back, lift the hands. Keep rolling the inner thighs up. Lift your legs, let's wake up those legs. Interlace your hands together. If that's too much for you, then just keep your hands apart. Bend your knees. With your knees bent, try to dorsiflex, flex your feet so the bottoms of the feet face the ceiling. See if you can lift your knees higher off the ground. Lift your chest up. Can you lift your knees higher off the ground? Lift your chest up. One more time. Can you lift your knees up? Press your feet up to the ceiling. Lift your chest. Exhale, release. Hands down. Please push back to all fours. Downward facing dog pose. Take a steady breath into your body. Steady breath out. And one more deep inhale. Full exhale. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Put a bend in your back knee. Try to get your left hip right above your left knee to start. Plug the right thigh back into the hip socket. Roll the outer left thigh forward. Lengthen your tailbone down. Reach up strongly through the arms. And now try to straighten the back leg. Go a little bit lower in both legs. Stretch the arms up a little higher. Pull the front low ribs in. Take a deep breath into the body. Steady breath out. 4 more breaths. Can you go lower in the legs? Keep the lift up through the torso. Skull is right on top of your spine. Notice if your head's jutting forward. Stretch the arms up vigorously. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands, palms down on your front thigh. Shift forward, lean forward. Lift your back foot off the ground. Keep both hips facing down to the floor. Both hips face down. Turn your left hip down. Straighten your left leg. Good. Tap your left toes on the ground and then lift the left leg back up. Tap the left toes on the ground and then lift the left leg back up. You're going to tap and then lift. Keep your torso parallel to the ground. Tap and then lift. Good. Tap. Your right knee is bent. Your hands are on your right thigh. Tap and lift. Let's do 10 more. Down, up, keep breathing. Down, up. 8 more. Keep your right knee bent. Up. 7. Keep your left leg straight. Up. 5 more. Down. Up. Good. Try to keep lifting the front of your right hip bone up off of your right thigh. Up. 1 more time. Left foot taps down, then it taps up. Good. Both hands come to the ground. Step back, plank pose. Take a full breath in plank. Chaturanga, lower halfway, and then push right back up plank. Downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in and a steady breath out. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Come all the way up, crescent lunge pose. Please put a bend in your left knee. Get your right hip so it's right above your right knee. Reach both arms up vigorously. Pull the front low ribs in. Now try to straighten that back leg. Go a little bit lower in the legs. Reach the arms up high. Pull the front low ribs in. Steady your eyes on one point. Embrace the challenge. Embrace the the fire. Can you keep both shoulders facing forward, the skull right on top of your spine? That front thigh is bending. That back thigh is lifting. Left thigh pulls back into the hip a little, right thigh pulls forward. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, interlace hands, palms down on your front thigh. Lean forward, shift forward. Lift the back leg up. Okay, keep your torso parallel to the floor. Stay low with your torso. Keep the bend in your left knee. Push your hands against your left thigh to help support your torso. And try to lift the front of your left hip up off of your left thigh. Now tap your right foot down and then lift it back up. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 10 more. Down and up. As you do this, I want you to keep your right leg totally straight. I want you to keep both hips facing the ground. Don't let that right hip torque upwards. Can you keep both shoulders facing down? Keep the bend in your left knee, but keep the front of your left hip lifting off of your left thigh. 5 more. Up, down, up, down. Last 3. Keep your right knee straight. Up, down, 2, up, down. Last 1, up, down. Good. Please step back to plank pose. Take a deep breath in plank. Get your chest forward. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog or cobra pose. Pause. Push the feet down. Lift the thighs up. This can be hamstring work too. Push the feet down. Lift the thighs. Then pull the chest forward. Downward facing dog pose. Exhale. Take a steady breath in downward dog. Steady breath out. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Push firmly through the inner hands. Drive the tops of your thighs back and up. Take one more big breath into your body. Exhale all your air. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Hands all the way up towards the sky. Deep inhale, reach up. Hands to your chest, exhale. Inhale, reach both hands up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Take a slow, steady breath in. Slow, steady breath out. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Let yourself breathe. Keep pressing the tops of your thighs back and up. Keep your head right between your arms. Keep that strong push of the hands. Step your feet together. Come onto your tippy toes. Lift your heels. Look between your thumbs. Bend your knees. Think of a handstand and hop. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Both hands all the way up towards the sky. Deep inhale. Reach up. Hands to your chest. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up towards the sky. Exhale. Fold over your legs all the way down. Inhale. Halfway lift. Step or jump. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Pivot your left foot 45 degrees. Step your right foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale, reach both hands up. Exhale, both hands come down towards the ground. Listen, step your right foot back 1 to 2 feet. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, kick up, handstand. Try 3 more hops. 2. Good, one more hop, and then wherever you are, step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog pose. Pivot your right foot 45 degrees. Step your left foot forward. Warrior one pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands come right back down to the ground. Step your left foot back a foot or 2. Lift your right leg way up to the sky. Stay here, push through your hands, or try 3 hops. 2, maybe get stuck upside down. Good, one last breath or hop. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog pose. Take a steady breath in and downward dog. Steady breath out. Eyes are steady on one place. Two more breaths. Keep rolling the outer shoulders back. Roll the inner biceps forward. Press with the inner hands. One last deep inhale. And exhale all your air. Bend your knees. Think of a handstand. Hop. Halfway lift on your inhale. Fold forward on your exhale. Inhale, hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your chest. Step your feet so they're together or hip width. Depends on you and your body. Bend your knees, sit your bum low. Utkatasana, inhale. Can you sit your butt down and back? Reach your hands forward and up. Everyone's most favorite yoga pose. You know, I find it never gets easier. So can you sit the bum down and back? Lift your chest forward and up. Lift the arms up. Can you draw the front ribs in? Take 5 more breaths. I promise, just 5 more breaths. Can you stay with me for the next 5 breaths? It's not that long, less than 30 seconds. 4. Go a little lower. Reach the arms a little higher. 3. 2. Go low. Lift the arms high. Ribs in. Soften your jaw, your face. One last breath in. And exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Please step your left foot back. Come up to warrior two pose and bend into your right knee. Can you line your feet up heel to heel? Square your chest towards the left. Reach your arms out to either side. And look just off the tip of your right middle finger. Can you find the depth in the right leg? Stay for a full breath in. Stay for a full breath out. Eyes are steady. Relax and soften through the shoulders. Find the depth of the legs. Lift and lengthen up through your torso. Can you allow yourself to be a warrior? It's a fierce pose. One more deep inhale. Full exhale. And straighten your front leg. Turn your back foot in slightly. Reach your right hand far forward, Trikonasana. Right hand down, left hand up. See if you can turn your head to look up towards your left hand. Take 5 breaths. Stay anchored through both feet. So press all 10 toes down into the ground. Turn the chest up. Steady breath into the body. Steady breath out. 4 more breaths. 3. 2, get the underside of the torso long. The top side of the torso a little shorter. 1 last deep inhale. And exhale, look down. Bend into your front knee. Inhale, reversed warrior two, reach all the way back. Take a full breath in. Okay, exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down. Plant your palms. Step your right foot 1 to 2 feet back. Pop your left leg up to the sky. Stay here. Or 3 handstand kick-ups. Up you go. 3 hops. 2. If you can, both legs up to the sky. 1 last breath in. Try to switch legs. Left foot now steps forward between the hands. Right foot now steps back. Warrior two pose. Come right into it. Bend into your left knee. Square your chest to the right. Spread those arms wide. Look straight forward. Can you find the depth in the legs? Lift and lengthen up through the torso. Look straight forward. 4 more breaths. Like, let yourself work in your legs. Let your legs go low. At the same time, lift and lengthen up through the torso. Steady eyes. Can you hear yourself breathe? Two more breaths. And stay. Keep the depth in the legs. And straighten your front leg. Heel toe the back foot in a little. Trikonasana. Reach far forward. Left hand comes down. Right hand up. Trikonasana. Can you turn your chest up towards the sky? Turn the head up. Look up. Get longer from your left hip to your left armpit. Find length there. Push strongly down through both feet. Breathe into your ribs, into your chest. Breathe. 2 more breaths. 1 last deep inhale. Full exhale. Bend into your left knee. Reverse warrior two. Reach all the way back. Full inhale, stretch back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, please. Step your left foot 1 foot back to 2 feet back. Pop your right leg up into the air. You can just stay here for 3 breaths. Otherwise, 3 hops, handstand. Option to take both legs up. 2 more breaths or 2 more hops. Just try to lift that right leg up as high as we'll go. 1 more breath or 1 more hop. Good. And then this time step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra pose. Downward facing dog pose. Take a steady breath into your body and a steady breath out. 1 more time, deep inhale. And a full exhale. And please step your right foot forward between your hands. And then step your left foot about 1 foot or so forward. So both heels are on the ground. You're in pyramid pose. Both legs are straight. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can have your hands on blocks. Ideally, we get the right leg totally straight. Okay? So if you're really tight and the knee is very bent, then use blocks to prop yourself up higher. If you don't have blocks, then just do the best you can. Inhale, please, everyone get your torso really long. Spine lengthens forward. And then exhale, begin to fold forward over your right leg. Now, if you're quite open through the hamstrings, walk your hands forward. Place your fingertips on the ground and push your fingertips and your hands forward and down into the ground as you send your legs back. Maybe bring the forehead towards the right shin. Press all 10 toes into the ground. Take a steady breath into your body and a steady breath out. Good. Now everyone, wherever you are, take your hands to their back under your shoulders again. Turn your right foot out about 45 degrees. Turn your right foot out at about a 45-degree angle. Now, if this at any point hurts your knee, or your ankle or your hip, you might have just gone a little too far, so be careful. And then same thing as before. Inhale, get really long through the torso, find length. Exhale, walk your hands forward if it's available, fingertips on the ground or on your blocks. Try to fold over your right leg as it's in external rotation. Push the hands forward and down into the ground. Take a steady breath into the body and a steady breath out. And one more deep inhale. Full exhale. And let's switch legs. Bend into your right knee. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Hands can be on the ground or on blocks. Pyramid pose on the other side. Inhale, chest lengthens forward, get the spine long. And then exhale, fold over your left leg. Option to walk your hands forward. Press the fingertips forward and down. The forehead comes towards the shin. Press through both feet. Try to keep both legs straight. Push all 10 toes actively into the floor. Deep breath into your body. Steady breath out. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then slowly walk your hands back. Lengthen your spine, parallel to the floor. Turn your left foot out 45 degrees. So your left leg's in external rotation. Keep your left leg straight if you can. Okay. Again, if it feels a bit too much for your knee joint or hip, then just don't do as much external rotation. Inhale, get long through the torso first. And then exhale, walk your hands forward if you can, down towards the ground or blocks. Push your fingertips forward and down. Take 3 breaths. 2. And 1 last deep inhale. Full exhale. Awesome. Put your blocks to the side. Please step back. Plank pose. Take a deep breath in plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Take your hands back behind you. Interlace your hands. Interlace your hands. Bend your knees. Lift your thigh bones off the ground. Lift your knees off the floor. Lift your thighs off the ground. Lift your knees off the ground. Inhale, lift your chest. So our hamstrings, they like any muscle in the body, they like to be challenged, whether it's in a stretch or whether it's in a contracted position, building strength and or length. So can you lift those thigh bones up? Lift the chest up. The hamstrings like to be moved in all sorts of different directions. So we put them in an elongated movement, and now we're placing them in a little bit of a contracted movement. Can you lift your thighs up? Come on, get those thighs up, the knees up, lift the chest, and then exhale, release. Back to downward dog. Take a full breath in downward dog. Full breath out. Step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee down. Grab your blocks. Take your left knee a little further back. Shift your butt back. So you're in half splits. Option 1, stay in half splits. Option 2, begin to lengthen your right leg forward towards full splits. Okay. As you work the right leg forward towards full splits, if that's where you're going, try to keep both hips facing straight forward. Try to keep both hips facing straight forward. And if you have a couple blocks, you can put them underneath your hamstring. And inhale, reach both hands up towards the sky. Okay. If that's too much, just keep your hands on the ground or on your blocks. Take 3 more breaths. Keep turning the outer left hip forward and down. 2 more breaths. Good. One last deep inhale. Exhale, both hands down. And slowly release. All right, good job. Other side, step your left foot forward. Lengthen your left leg out in front. Option to just stay in half splits or slowly lengthen your left leg forward. And let the pelvis settle down, but keep both hips facing towards the front of your mat. Option to put one block or both blocks into your hamstrings. Inhale, reach both arms up if that's available. Otherwise, just keep your hands on the ground. You can take 5 slow, steady breaths. 4, breathe. 3. 2. And one last deep inhale. Well done. Exhale, release. Take the foot back and come right onto your butt. Take your legs out in front of you. And please lie down onto your back. Once you're on your back, bend your knees so your feet are close towards your bum. Press down into your feet, lift your pelvis up towards the sky. And then maybe roll your shoulders under and interlace your hands together. Can you push your feet down to lift the pelvis up? Push the shoulders down to lift the chest. Keep your knees hip width. Hug the knees towards each other. Take a steady breath into your body. And a steady breath out. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And push the shoulders down, lift the chest, push the feet down, lift the thighs. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower the pelvis down. Take a moment to recalibrate. Okay. 1 more back bend. You can choose to stay with bridge or take your hands up beside your ears for Urdhva Dhanurasana, your choice. So hands down beside your hips or hands up beside your ears. On your next inhale, lift the pelvis up and then maybe come to the top of your head and maybe straighten your arms and come all the way up. Can you take a slow, steady breath in? Slow, steady breath out. 1 more breath. Breathe. 3. Keep the upper inner thighs rolling down. 2. Push through the hands and the feet to lift everything up. And 1. And then slowly roll your spine, bone by bone, down towards the ground. Take your feet mat distance wide. Let your knees knock together. Place your hands on your belly. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Just 1 more deep breath like that. Good. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Bring the bottoms of your feet so they're together. Baddha Konasana. Hold on to your shin bones first, please. And pull against your shins, your lower shins near the ankles. Pull against your shins with your hands to bring your chest forward and up. So you're creating a bit more of a neutral-ish spine. Okay, so the spine is nice and tall. Can you stay here for 2 breaths? Letting the knees fall towards the ground. Keeping the spine nice and tall and neutral-ish. 1 more deep inhale. Full exhale. Good, and then release the shins. Spread your legs wide. Place your hands behind you. Push through the fingertips. Get the torso to be a little bit more long and a little bit more tall. And then exhale, option to stay there with the hands. or walk your hands forward and slowly come towards the floor for Upavishta Konasana. If you can go quite low to the ground, try putting a block underneath the belly. It's really nice to feel the belly be supported some days by like a prop. It can allow for a bit more of a release. You take 5 breaths. 4. With each exhale, can you allow yourself to soften a little bit more? Let your shoulders relax, let your face relax. Inhale, slowly come up. Cross your shins, Sukhasana. Right shin in front of the left shin. So you're in a nice, easy seat. Your shins are more or less parallel with the front edge of your mat. Option to stay there, or only if it feels okay in your body, double pigeon. Right ankle on top of the left knee, double pigeon. Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. So many names. Okay. If that doesn't work for your body, just cross the right shin in front of the left shin and then slowly walk your hands forward and forward fold. Can you let your head relax? Let your jaw relax. Please take a really big, deep breath in. On your exhale, can you release a little more into the pose? Inhale, come up. Okay, other side, left shin in front of the right shin. And if you prefer double pigeon, left ankle right above the right knee, that can work too. And then slowly walk your hands forward and forward fold. Can you allow yourself to soften? Let yourself relax. Can you take a really big deep breath in? Full exhale. Inhale, slowly come all the way up. Please lie onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your knees fall over towards the right. So this is optional. You can just do any supine twist you'd like, any supine twist. Or if you want to come with me, it's a little, some of you have done this before, it's stag legs. So listen, straighten your left leg, reach your right hand to grab your left foot. Keep your right knee bent, reach down with your left hand and grab your right foot. Let your chest turn towards the left. If that's just too crazy for you, or it just doesn't feel that good for your back or hips, then please abandon and just do a supine twist that feels nice. You can let the muscles in your face relax. Let your belly soften. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, totally release into the pose a little more. Good. And then come back up through center. Let your knees fall towards the left. And the option to just keep your knees stacked or do any twist you'd like, or straighten your right leg. Grab your right foot with your left hand. Then see if you can reach down with your right hand and catch your left foot. Then pull the foot a little behind you. If that doesn't work for your body, just let it go. 2 more breaths. Take one more deep inhale. Full exhale. And release. Come back to center with your pelvis. Hug your knees in. Give them one last big squeeze. And please take Shavasana, corpse pose. Lying on your back in a way that's comfortable for you. Can you let your feet relax? Let your legs relax. The belly softens. All the muscles in your face relax. Please take a deeper breath in and out. If you'd like to stay here a little longer, please feel free to. Otherwise, wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your arms up overhead. Give your body a big stretch. Bend your knees. Roll onto your right hand side. Gently press yourself up to a seated position. Please bring your hands together in front of your chest, palms touching. By always forcing ourselves to be positive, we can deny ourselves of life's problems. And problems have value and meaning to them. They can help us educate ourselves about ourselves and the world. Problems can generate happiness and joy as we learn about ourselves, as we resolve them, as we grow from them. So if you're having any problems or challenges that are surfacing in your life right now, can you view them as having a sense of meaning and purpose? And it's okay to feel a little down sometimes. Namaste.